now in January of 2020, which means it's time for me to do my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2020. So this is my own personal list. Let me know yours down in the comments below, and let's go on to number 10. And coming in at number 10, I've got Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, this movie was meant to come out of March of 2020, but it's now been postponed to, I think it's November of 2020. And when I first heard that, I was very nervous and very reluctant, like, oh, okay, this might not be the best now. But the more I thought about it, like, maybe the movie's so good, because I have enjoyed every one of these movies so far, like, even Kong Skull Island, which I think is a really rewatchable and fun movie. It's the worst in the series, but I still think it's a really good movie. But I was thinking, probably the only reason this movie's been postponed is just because it's a massive special effects movie, and they just maybe not got all the special effects done, and they won't get them done in time, so they don't want to put a movie out with pretty shit special effects. So I assume that's the only reason I could think of what in a positive aspect of why they kind of postponed this movie. But even at that, I'm really excited for this movie just because this is a franchise that it's a very small franchise. Like, no one really knew it was going to be a big cinematic universe the way they've been building it up. So it's been a real surprise. All these movies I find to be rewatchable. So even if this movie is bad, it's going to be two big iconic monsters fighting, and like you'll still get enjoyment in that. And coming in at number 9, I've got Venom 2. Venom, I never actually seen it in the cinema because I didn't really care about it. The trailers didn't look really interesting to me, so I never really bothered with it. But this movie was a pleasant surprise. It's such a fun movie, especially the relationship between Tom Hardy and Venom himself. It feels like a very good buddy cop movie, even though they're the same person. It feels like they're two good pals. As well, the sequel has now brought on Andy Serkis to direct, which really makes it a lot more interesting. As well, there's rumours that Tom Holland might be in this movie. So there's a lot of these new elements that is coming into the sequel that makes me really excited. As well, we're going to have Carnage as the villain, played by Woody Harrelson. So a lot of the stuff building up in the sequel looks like it could be very promising. I hope it's not a letdown, but what it's building up so far, I'm really excited to see what it does. Coming in at number 8, I've got Scoob. Now, Scoob was a movie that wasn't on my radar at all. I knew it was coming out, but I didn't actually really give a crap about it. But seeing that trailer turned me over massively, so I'm really, really excited for this movie. The trailer, I laughed. I even, some moments, they're very tear-jerking with the baby Scoob and Shaggy, so I'm really, really excited for this movie. Recently, I've been watching a lot of Scooby-Doo just because I'm trying to get my little brother into it, because he's never, like, Scooby-Doo is not really in the public eyesight at the moment, so I'm trying to get him into it, because I feel like it's one that he could really love, because, like, I've grew up Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo has been with me my entire life, so now that we're getting another Scooby-Doo movie, and I'm really excited to see what this movie brings. And coming in number 7, I've got Top Gun Maverick. This is the sequel I never thought we'd ever get. I've watched Top Gun so many times over the years. It's one of those movies I've always actually loved. I just think it's a lot of fun to watch. Like, one year at one Comic Con, I actually went dressed up as Maverick, which is something a lot of people thought I was Green Lantern. I was like, no, I'm Maverick from Top Gun. But this movie, it's one that, as well, I said we never thought we'd get. The trailers, both of them, have interested me massively. Seeing Miles Teller in this movie, which we haven't actually seen Miles Teller in the movie in so long, so I'm really excited to see him come back as well. If you look at this movie compared to the trailer, actually the original movie, Tom Cruise hasn't aged much, so I'm really excited to see what the sequel does bring, and then maybe we could get a third one. As long as this movie's good, I'd happily get another one, because this movie here it's a lot of fun. And at number 6, I've got Marvel's The Eternals. This is a franchise where I actually don't know much about. I know the bare minimum about The Eternals, so the fact that we're going to be getting thrown into this as well, it feels a lot like it's going to be a new Guardians of the Galaxy situation. And Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favourite Marvel movies, so hopefully that if we get a new kind of movie like that, it'd be really good, because I'd love another. Because Guardians of the Galaxy 2, it's a massive disappointment, so I'm really hoping The Eternals is good. The cast looks incredible. The whole story that's going to be taking place over 1,000 years really intrigues me. And the fact that these have always been in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but they've always been kind of lurking in the background. All of that sounds really intriguing. We don't know much about this movie. We haven't even got a trailer yet. But this movie is one that is definitely one of my most anticipated movies of 2020. And coming in at number 5, I've got Wonder Woman 1984. Now, there's a trailer came out about a month ago. I haven't watched it. I've been kind of waiting for it to come in cinema, but it hasn't played in front of a movie yet, so I have no idea what this trailer is. But a lot of people kind of freaked out about how good this trailer was. So a part of me wants to watch it, but also part of me wants to keep going as long as I can to see this movie, because I think it's a May release. So it's a movie that I didn't, going into Wonder Woman, this one here, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if it's going to be good or not. But this movie, I really hope it's good, because this one was amazing. I really hope this movie can live up to it. What I've heard so far, that like we got Chris Pine coming back. I'm not really sure, I can't remember the actress name, but she's also in Ghostbusters 2016. Kristen Wiig, actually, here's her name. I'm not a massive fan of her, so the fact that she's the villain of this movie, I'm not really excited about that, because I just don't like her as an actress. But either way, you do have Kristen Pine come back. You've got Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman again, and I'm really excited to see what the story is, because literally I don't know anything about the story whatsoever. So I'm really intrigued to fall back into the world about Wonder Woman, because we haven't seen her since 2017. This has been a long break for a comic book hero. And coming in at number 4, I've got Raya and the Last Dragon, I think it's called. But either way, this movie is a movie I don't know much about. I know it's Disney, and that's what intrigues me most, because we haven't got an original Disney animated movie since 2016, I think, with Moana being the last one, because we've got Wreck-It Ralph 2 last year, and then as well, 2 years ago, and then we got Frozen 2 last year, and these are two sequels. We haven't got an original Disney animated movie since 2016, so the fact that we're getting a new one in 2020 really intrigues me. The concept art we've seen looks absolutely stunning. Just because it's kind of a Chinese background, it does remind me a lot of Mulan, as well, having the dragon. So I'm hoping it'll be I hope it's an instant classic. I would love this to be another classic Disney animated movie that you can just put on and fall into the world, because it's Disney. The animation is going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be a musical, so I don't know if the music will be good, but either way, I'm going to be there opening day to see this movie. Coming in number 3, I've got Halloween Kills. I'm a massive fan of the Halloween franchise. Now, bearing in mind, I've only ever seen the original classic one and the sequel, because I only seen the original one coming up to this movie, because I heard a lot of negative things about all the other sequels, so I kind of just skipped them. But the two I've seen, I'm a massive fan of. Look at that gorgeous steelbook, isn't it just stunning? That's the 2018 version, and the way this movie kind of ended off, keeping it really open-ended for a sequel coming out, which is this year, I'm really excited to see what happens with this movie, especially because we haven't got a trailer yet, but all the concept, like all the actual artwork we've seen, people on set photos, it looks like it's happening that night. It looks like it's one huge continuing story as well, because this movie comes out this year and then the sequel to it's coming out next year. I feel like it's going to be like an Infinity War Endgame situation, where this movie, Halloween Kills, is going to end with a big kind of cliffhanger where I'm assuming Michael Myers is going to win, and then Halloween Ends, I think the sequel is called, for next year, is going to be kind of the end game, where I'm assuming they're going to come back. So I think this is going to be the end of the Michael Myers franchise, or the kind of story of Michael Myers is going to be finishing here. So the fact that we're going to have the original one, then the 2018, 2019 or 2020 version, and the 2021, which I'm assuming is all going to be in space of 2018 to 2021. I'm assuming it's going to be in space of maybe a year or two. So I'm really excited to finally actually see this movie, to see the middle chapter of this kind of trilogy of Halloween sequels. Coming in at number 2, I've got A Quiet Place Part 2. Jim from The Office with this movie did a phenomenal job, so I'm really excited to see the sequel, because we got the trailer the other day and it intrigued me massively. I was excited for this movie, but after seeing the trailer, I'm even more excited for it. Especially, I've rewatched this movie a few times since I own the Blu-ray, and it's an incredible movie. And every time I go into it, all I want to do is I'm afraid to make a noise even when I'm watching this movie. So I hope the sequel is able to capture what the original one did so well. I'm glad Emily Blunt has come back, so I'm glad it's a continuation of what happened in part 1, rather than just kind of being a sequel in some other different place. So what we're getting in the sequel, I really hope, is just as good, if not better, than this movie. And coming in at number 1, I've got Ghostbusters Afterlife. This movie I'm so excited for. I'm a massive fan of Ghostbusters 1. Ghostbusters 2 is not as good as 1, but I still really enjoy it, and I find myself watching that movie a lot. Ghostbusters 2016 is a massive disappointment. I only seen it once in cinema, and then I bought the Blu-ray there last month, and I actually rewatched it, and I was still really disappointed about how bad it was. So I'm really hoping the 2020 version is going to be just brilliant. The trailer really intrigued me as well, to see that we didn't see any actual Ghostbusters. It was a lot of nostalgia. It reminds me a lot of how The Force Awakens went, and I really hope this movie's good, because I don't know what's going to happen if it's not. It's my most anticipated movie this year. I don't want to leave this movie let down. I really would love if this movie is fantastic. So please, Sony, please just give me a good Ghostbusters movie, please. So that's my top 10 most anticipated movies of this year. Let me know what your most anticipated movies are of this year in the comments down below. Click that subscribe button so you can see other movie reviews, probably all 10 of these movie reviews throughout the year. So if you want to see my thoughts on all these movies, click that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.